very special welcome to all of you who are watching us tonight, right here on BNN-TV, Comcast 23, right here in Boston. A very special welcome to all of you who are watching us on the worldwide net, BNN-TV.org, and of course, RCN Channel 83. A very special program tonight about the movie industry. We also have a very special, something special for you, so sit back and relax. My co-host tonight is Ted Lewis. Jim Sayer, who is my co-host and has been my co-host, will return next month. But Ted has decided to help us out here tonight in Jim's absence and fill in. That's right. Big shoes. Jim will be back next month. And so, Ted, what's going on?
Well, needless to say, social media is taking off. I read an article, and it said if businesses are not in tune with social media now, fold the books. That's where it's at now.
And you're going to talk to us a little about that tonight.
A little bit more about social media, Broadway, what's going on. And,
you just came back from a very, very special gig, if I can use that word, in the Big Apple.
Yes, the trip to Bountiful. Cecily Tyson,
I had the opportunity
Jr.
to see that as well. Right. Great production.
All right. Thanks for the write-up, by the way,
Thank
too.
you.
It was excellent. So, this is where it's at. Broadway, well, I wouldn't say Broadway, but the entertainment industry is expecting a purse of $2.15 trillion in the next couple of years. So, I mean, things are still happening. It's still controlled by the demographic is white females who say, let's go to Broadway, and what to go and how to purchase the tickets and things like that. And that's based on the Broadway League statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is look at how they're purchasing tickets. It's mobile. Everybody's on the cell phones or the smartphones.
Talking about Broadway, we have our own Broadway right here in Boston.
Yes.
And it generates $1 billion. A lot of people don't realize it's $1 billion in revenue right here in the theater district.
Well, that's the advantage of pictures, and whether it be plays, we need to build up the play industry also for people such as Errica, and whether you do movies or plays. But, you know, this is what brings people to the location, whether it be Massachusetts, New York. But we're talking about Massachusetts. We're talking about Boston. This is what brings people to Boston. It's the productions, the movies. It's a way of touring a place through a movie and seeing what it looks like. And the nice thing about it, it builds tourism because people want to go to the set and see, oh, this is where Tom Cruise, this is where Errica was.
It's a win-win situation. And talking about Errica Derrickson, welcome back to the program.
Great to be here, John.
We had the pleasure of having Errica on the program several months ago.
Yes.
A lot of compliments. And because of social media, and thanks to Ted, we had a worldwide audience.
Yes. It's amazing, though. Matter of fact, that show, after the show, you got 589 views. And it's building. They're still looking at it. And the amazing thing is, Errica was, she was the star.
And that's just on the net. That's just on the net. That's
on
not on television like we are right now.
Right.
What's going on, Errica? Welcome back.
It's great to be back, John.
Now we're Facebook we're Facebook pals, and there's all sorts of things happening.
Yeah, God, where would you like me to start?
Anywhere you want. Just tell us what's going on.
Well, as many people know, and not everyone knows yet, I'm the founder of Hollywood East Actors Group, which is an online community. It's a Facebook-based group that I started over a year ago, and it's actually absolutely exploded since then.
Talk about networking.
We have over 4,000 members, and we're actually about to have our one-year anniversary party coming up on November 12th at the Middle East downstairs in Cambridge, which is going to be really just a huge event. Yeah. Actors, directors, producers, casting directors, music composers, editors, writers, visual effects artists, everyone.
That's right on Mass Ave, right?
Yeah, right on Mass Ave in Cambridge. It's probably one of the coolest rock clubs in town, and we're going to pack it, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to be having raffle prizes to inspire people. We have Chris Byers of the New England Studios. He's very generously donated a tour of the New England Studios. We have headshots, we have acting classes, the whole range of prizes to make people benefit from being there. And then also another big piece of news is I've just taken over a space in Charlestown where we're going to be hosting classes, workshops.
I saw that
events.
on Facebook.
It's going to serve as my photography studio.
It's a big
during
space
the
too.
day. It is. It's a great
space.
big space, and we're gonna make history in that space. Really.
Now, if somebody wanted to get in contact with you about how would they do it?
Sure. Well, my branding is very simple. It's Errica D Actress. You can find me at erricadactress.com. You can find me on Twitter at Errica D Actress. D as in Derrickson. And then on Facebook, of course, at facebook.com/Errica D Actress. And if you reach out to me, I'll be happy to point you in the direction of the Hollywood East Actors Group. It's a very inclusive group. Everyone is welcome in this party, too. It's going to be anyone, friends and fans of film are also welcome. Mm-hmm. It's not just for Hollywood East members. I try to...
So you don't have to be a member to go to this?
No, you don't. No,
okay.
You just have to be a person who wants to connect with...
Interest.
Yeah, you just have to have the interest and desire to connect with others. Mm-hmm. We try to have a very inclusive community. I strive to create an environment that's very inclusive.
Well, that certainly fits Massachusetts in this last few years with everything going on here.
Well, I think that the kind of work that we're doing to build up the community is definitely going to play a huge role in just the overall raising of the level of talent and professionalism and quality of the actors that we have here, because the reality is, sure, we have all these great movies coming and filming here. However, they're still casting the primary roles out of LA and New York. So what we need to do collectively is inspire the studios and production companies and producers to believe that the caliber of actor that they need for their productions is here in Boston, in Rhode Island,
right.
in Maine, in New Hampshire, in Connecticut. There's a lot going on in Connecticut right now.
And
so
the New England studio plays a big role
absolutely,
in this.
Absolutely. So before you know it, we already have a lot of movies filming here. Cameron Diaz is she's just down the street from my house filming Basic Math right now. But what we really need is an episodic TV show, a Boston.
Just like Spencer for Hire years
exactly.
ago.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or on Golden Pond, something like that. To really, we're in the process of infusing a new confidence in Boston, in the film marketplace. And I see myself as being a part of that movement, and I see the people that I'm working with being a part of that movement. Tally Clemens himself, part of the movement.
But you do a lot too.
I do.
Last time you were here, you brought a video.
I did. I brought my acting reel. How did it get? Could have shown it again. Well, I do a lot of work. Actually, just today we announced the trailer for season 5 of a show called Quiet Desperation, which has already had 4 very successful seasons. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It was featured on the cover of the Metro. It has been a sort of mockumentary, theater of the absurd web series for 4 seasons, and now in the 5th season, myself and my boyfriend Ben Maitland-Lewis are coming on as producers and also on the show to essentially, it's about this artist Rob Patillo, who's gone through a Madonna-like transformation throughout his career. He was originally the Robbie Road Steamer character. He's taken on a lot of different roles and mediums, but now in season 5 of Quiet Desperation, it's going to be real. There's no mockumentary. This is about documenting his reinvention as an artist, and so it's really exciting to be a part of it.
Webisodes, that's part of social media too.
It's all part of it. Like I say to people, it's like a tool, and you have different types of screwdrivers, different types of pliers. Right. It's a tool. It's a tool to get information out, get services out, to brand yourself. Whatever you need to do is to get the information out. So one of the things was the webinar that you did on social media. I was there, and it's the world's changing. It's changing how we receive goods and services. It's just amazing that just think now I can order something from New York City, from anywhere in the world. I could track it. I know exactly when it gets to New York City, California, or whatever, or Texas. You could actually track it, and then you can put a message in there and say, I want to receive a message every time it reaches a certain destination on my smartphone. Mm-hmm. Bango, there it is. So, and as far as education goes, today, it's no reason for anyone to say, I can't get an education. Because, if you could get to a library, it doesn't cost you, in most of the libraries I know, it doesn't cost you anything to get there, to get in. Right. You could sit there and get a PhD.
Right. Now, you're involved with everything.
I am. And if I can build on the
Sure.
episodic content, really, the old system has broken down. And what I mean by the old system is there used to be guardians to entry. You had to impress a producer, a director, a casting
Right.
director in order to get into the game. Now, thanks to the internet, thanks to social media, it's up to the artists themselves to create their own brand and and get themselves out there. So what's really beautiful about doing episodic web content is that allows you to build a brand consistently and build an audience consistently. And I think that's really what's the defining
And your own
factor.
fan club, too.
Yeah, your own fan
And
club.
you're doing it on
brand.
your own,
And you're
too.
doing it. It's free. Well, most things are free.
Right.
It's free to use Facebook. It's free to use Twitter. I mean, I started a little more than a year ago as nobody in this scene, and then now a lot of people know my name, which is a blessing, and I'm very grateful. I don't take it for granted
And
at
that's
all.
due to social
Well,
media.
that's all due to social media because I actually invested in a course called Social Media Power Player, and so I got to learn not just the technical, just of what's the difference between a Facebook page and a profile, but the philosophy of using social media as a tool to create value, and by creating value for others, your eyeballs go on you. So if you're giving to others, people can't help but notice that, especially in an industry where everyone is asking for something. The one who gives is the one who really stands out, and I'm living proof of that.
But you're engaged in a lot of different
I am.
aspects of this business.
I am. I'm trying to simplify a little bit, but I'm primarily an actress.
And now you're teaching, too.
Well, I'm not going to be teaching the classes out of the
Okay,
space.
all right.
My partner is Rich Bailey. He is he's an amazing teacher, very well trained out in LA at the Playhouse West. And what he really missed from LA was having a conservatory-style training environment where actors can come together consistently on a weekly basis and form a family that is really building their craft together. My motto is "Together we rise." So essentially what Rich and I are doing out of this space with the New England Actors Workshop is the first set of classes we're doing. It's a Meisner-style training, but more importantly than the training itself, it's the fact that we're coming together and building up together.
It's networking, essentially.
It's networking,
And
but it's also like the actor's studio in a way that we're building something together, and we're developing a new body of actors that are really going to stand out and really going to become a real asset for the film industry here in Boston. And I'm excited to be a part of that.
and that sounds exciting. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you about that, what would they do?
Same avenues. I mean, reach out to me on Twitter is easy, or I don't want to give away my email address because I'm already having such a hard time managing my inbox. But contacting me on social media, on Facebook or Twitter at Errica Derrickson.
Let's talk about the New England studio. That just opened,
yeah.
about a month ago? A little more than a month ago.
Yeah, it was technically open for business on September 16th. But they have not had the grand opening yet, but from what I hear, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be the event just of the year. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to that. And Chris
That'll
Byers
be
and his team
big
are
plus to bring films here, too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, their whole team is working so hard, and they're so dedicated, and just the loyalty to Massachusetts is just really noble and really admirable because, Chris could have built this studio anywhere, but he chose to come home to Massachusetts and do it here with us and for us.
Looking forward to that.
Well, it's amazing. I did a cooking show with Paul Wahlberg, and I'm seeing a little bit of Donnie, a little bit of Mark involved in this restaurant. Not to give him a plug, but to give him a plug, Alma Nove in Hingham. It's just that people are coming back, and they're realizing that Massachusetts has a lot to offer. I've said this from the very beginning. We have a lot to offer historically wise, as well as the terrain is excellent for shooting a lot of different styles, different types of movies and stuff like that. And we need to promote that. I mean, needless to say, it's real good for our economy.
We have a plethora of venues here.
Yes,
We have the
yes.
theater district, and we have all sorts of things going on. In fact, next week, Forever Tango is coming here, and it's going to be performed at the Katalin Majestic Theater. And a lot of people are looking forward to that and can't wait until that happens. talking about music, talking about tango music,
I love
talking
tango
about
music.
Hispanic music. We have somebody here tonight. We have two people, as a matter of fact. Something a little new for the program, a little new.
Are we going to dance, John?
Well, we're not going to do our tango, not on this program tonight, but what we are going to do is we're going to introduce two very special people,
Oh, yeah.
Hector, Katalin.
All right.
And they're very, very good. They're quite accomplished, and they agreed to come on and do two songs for us tonight on the program. And we're looking forward to that. Not only will they sing, but after, we'll take a break, and they will join us.
And if you two dance, the tap on your shoulder will be me.
So sit back and enjoy Hector and Katalin.
Thanks, John. Feel welcome to dance if you want.
Thank you. Silky roses in the fields, gentle touch of summer breeze. Stars begin to shine above and kiss me on the cheek. Angel lights are in your eyes, the evening's just begun. Through the time we spent together, growing to be one. If all of us have magical moments, it's time for ours to come. Do you feel it? It's a perfect moment, holding hands and make a circle, like the moon in the skyline that will lead us through the twilight. It's a perfect moment, could be once in a lifetime. Let's not lose this moment, it might never be the same again. The goals we planned to reach in life are finally closer than it seemed. We found new colors in our hearts and seek to paint our dreams. Yeah. Say goodbye to hopeless nights and 1,000 lonely days. Let me be your phone when you're lost and far away. Come and take another step to see the brighter side and hold it, yeah. It's a perfect moment, holding hands and make a circle, like the moon in the skyline that will lead us through the twilight. It's a perfect moment, could be once in a lifetime. Let's not lose this moment, it might never be the same again. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah. It's a perfect, perfect moment. Perfect, 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 perfect. Ooh, perfect moment. Holding hands and make a circle, like the moon in the skyline that will lead us through the twilight. It's a perfect moment. Could be once in a lifetime. Let's not lose this moment. It might never be the same again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was perfect moment by Katalin Matyus, right here.
And I had a wonderful co-writer from Berkeley called Laura Yokosava.
Well, I hope you like it. Now we're gonna perform Mais Que Nada. It's a very known Brazilian standard.
By Jobim.
What's your
Yeah.
name?
Antonio Carlos Jobim.
Yeah.
I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Sai da minha frente que quero passar, pois o samba está animado. O que eu quero é samba. Esse samba que é misto de maracatu. É samba de preto velho, samba de preto tu. Mais que nada, samba como essa te negar. Você não vai querer que eu não chegue no final. Oh, 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 aria, raio. Opa, opa, opa. Oh, 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 aria, raio. Opa, opa, opa. Yakatakatum, utakatu, durandara, tutundu, dabandada, da 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 da. Da da ba do ba do 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 da 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 ba da ba do ba da 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 da. Este samba que é misto de maracatu. É samba de preto velho, samba de preto tu. Mais que nada, samba como esse te negar. Você não vai querer que eu chegue no final.
Back. Get those phone calls ready. We'll be back with Errica Derrickson and Hector, and also Katalin and my co-host, Ted Lewis. 617-708-3280. 617-708-3280. Exciting show, huh? Great show tonight. Ted, that was a great show. I remember that song from the 60s. That's Brazil 66. Remember that?
John, I think you just had the #1 show in the 5 years that I've been here at BNN. Boy, these guys are great, really great.
Hector, Katalin, joining Ted, Errica, and myself on the program. In fact, 617-708-3280, 617-708-3280. We'll take your phone calls, your comments, your questions. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So much.
You've been singing for a while.
Yeah, actually, I picked up singing the last. I started playing keyboard
Yep.
when I was around 8, 9. I don't really remember the year, but and then I moved on to guitar and then singing.
We're going to talk a little about that, but we have a call waiting. Can we have a question, please?
Yes, John. How you doing? It's Jim.
Good. This is Jim, our call. Jim. Jim,
Did
say it.
well.
I'm watching the show and I'm enjoying it. Ted Lewis got my spot there.
Well, I know that you're recuperating, and we are looking forward to having you come back on next month. But Ted was gracious enough to fill in. But now you're looking at it from the opposite end this time. What do you think?
It's a great show, John.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Eric. Great performance. And everything is like I got my legs straight out there. I can't bend it, but I'm having a great time. I'm sitting here with a glass of wine, and it's a great show, John.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you very much. And I bet a lot of other people
Did
are
well.
enjoying it too. Thank you. Bet a lot of other people enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Yes, John, you're doing a great job, and I got to get that Ted Lewis out of my feet. I
Big
gotta get
shoes,
that now.
big shoes.
That's right. Ted said we have big shoes to fill. Is that right, Ted? You said you have big shoes to fill?
Big shoes to fill, yeah.
Oh, he's doing a great job.
And needless to say, we miss you.
And the show's great. The guests are great, John. I'm having a great time watching it, and everything looks good.
Well, speedy recovery, Jim, and we'll see you next month.
All right, John.
You've been performing for several years anyway.
Yeah, several years anyway. Since I could remember, I just, I was trying always to make music, to make my music, available to the public. Right now, it's just actually the moment when I'm able to do it the most in my life. And together with Katalin, we're putting this duo together.
Fantastic.
And we try to incorporate this new thing, which is the loop pedal, into the, the songs we play, we perform, because there's some pretty cool things that you can do with that. You don't have to have too many people. You can just
you build it live, right
Yeah.
in front of the audience, and you can put different instruments right there. Even by hitting that guitar, we didn't do that today, but
We
it's
can do it
like
next
yeah,
time.
like beats and stuff, like really cool.
And Eric was talking about the film industry because everything revolves around the entertainment industry here. You have an interest in music composition for film as well.
Right. Yeah, I was doing a dual major at Berkeley College of Music, film scoring and music production and engineering. Right now, I'm actually working together with some people in the studios, independent studios, and I'm also, whenever I have the time, composing. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in working for film. Composing for film is really something else that has a different type of feeling to it, rather than just making the music live. I don't know if I explained it right, but
No, you did a
composing
great
for the
job.
film
Right.
is something that just creates. It's somewhere deep inside there.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really powerful.
Now, Kathleen, what's your background?
It's a long story. I've been doing music since forever too. My mom is a piano teacher, ear training teacher. My grandpa was a singer and a theater director, so I grew up all around music. And I've been doing classical music at first. I've been also playing the piano by my mother's inspiration. And then shifted to contemporary music with my singing. And in high school, I also picked up dance. So the two together pretty much are in my life and in our lives too. We met at Berkeley actually and do the dance classes there. And today I look at them as something that was meant to be. I think everything is meant to be, how it's coming together, but I've been doing some healing work too, in the holistic field, and all those are really nicely, coming together. When you do music, you heal people, you give them something, you inspire them, you create something. Same thing with dance, same thing with the healing. It's just a summary of my story.
Errica, the venue that your event is going to take place, there's music involved with this as well.
Yes, we actually are going to have...
The Middle East on Mass
the Middle
Ave.
East downstairs. We're going to have a live music by Natalie Jolly. She's a local musician, young girl, under 20, but she's absolutely amazing. She has perfect pitch, and her songs are just awesome. She has a lot of fire, and that's what I look for in the people that I surround myself. We're also going to have a live comedy show.
I was going to say, there's not one aspect of the entertainment industry that we haven't covered on this show in some form. We have the music, we have the film composition, comedy. We've had stand-up comics on as well, and the movie industry in general.
Well, that's the beauty of making films is, unlike being a photographer, I mean, I can take photos by myself, just me and a subject. But when you're talking about making a film, it in its essence requires collaboration, and it requires leadership.
The vision comes from you.
The vision has to come
But it's
from the director.
Collaboration of...
Exactly, but
Music is like...
Filmmaking
Music
is
like
just...
that too.
It's so many moving pieces, and what the director does is just... he or she gets the orchestra into perfect harmony.
Because you have the feel, but everybody around you has the music as well.
Right, definitely involves, not just one person for projects like this, or even making the music, Arts are always involving, people, and it helps them connect, helps them heal, it helps them, it's really powerful. Music, arts. I couldn't be more grateful, to be able to do this.
You have an eclectic background. You've been around.
I went to Argentina. I lived there for 3 years. It's been a great experience because I was performing professionally with great jazz musicians, because Argentina is a place where jazz music is not too much, something that you can find unless you really look for it outside of the city. So that's what we did. I got together with some musicians.
Tango is most popular, is quite popular there, I know.
Yeah. We got tango, but we got tango. But I put together a jazz trio with dear friends, great musicians from there, and we went outside of Buenos Aires to perform jazz. Some of those people never heard that style in their lives, so it was like, it felt really good to show them something that made them happy, they liked, and they enjoyed their times.
Music even played a role in Trip to Bountiful.
Yes. Matter of fact, I had the pleasure of seeing the music score put together when we did the commercial with John Lacamata. And it's just amazing to see how they do it, to be in the studio, to film it, and then see it in the production. And it's, oh yeah, I remember that. But it's absolutely amazing how they enhance it and things like that. The other thing is, I think your time has come, because Gloria Estefan and her husband are bringing a musical to Broadway. So the Hispanic demographic is rising to the occasion, and now Broadway is being very receptive of that. So I think through that, amazing things are going to happen. Maybe we should all learn Spanish.
Well, it is an international language,
yes.
And tango isn't, and his Latino music is quite popular. 617-708-3280. 617-708-3280. We're speaking with Errica Derrickson.
Hi.
And we're speaking with Hector Huambo. And we're speaking with Katalin.
Matyus.
And of course, my co-host, Ted Lewis. Ted, what a great show.
Fantastic. I think our ratings just went through the roof.
Well, the good thing about social media is the fact that we are everywhere.
Right.
And if not right this moment, we will be.
We will definitely. So I can't wait to put this out. This is going to be phenomenal. It's just, sometimes you got to pinch yourself that I'm actually involved in this and the things that I've been doing. I retired in 2007. And it's like my whole life has taken on
All sorts of things
meaning.
happening.
Right.
We have a phone call. Can we have a question? Can we have your question, please?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
This is Helen.
Hi, Helen.
These shows are getting better and better and better. Tell Katalin up there I enjoy her sitting down. I can't believe how well she sounds sitting down, singing. And Hector, you're doing a wonderful job. It's nice to see Ted Lewis again. And I'm laying down, but I'm enjoying the show.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Okay.
And like Errica, Helen is actually an actress.
In my spare time.
In her spare time, and she's going back on stage, right, Helen? At some
Yes,
point?
I am.
She wants to go back on stage.
She's doing. I can't believe how well she sings sitting down. That it keeps me from feeling bad about laying down listening to her. Yep, she was wonderful. She's wonderful. I want them to keep up the good work, and I'll join them soon.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much for calling.
All right.
Thanks. 617-708-3280. 617-708-3280. Errica, so much going on.
So much is going on, John. Where do we even start?
We can't, because there's just everything is happening in this state, in this city. Music especially. Music is big here. We're talking about Mass Ave, that whole strip.
Yes.
Lots of things going on there, including your event.
Absolutely. You know, before I forget, I wanted to give you guys your official invite to the event. And with this card, can you zoom in? No, guess not. With this card, you get a free raffle ticket at the door, so a chance to win a tour of the studios, headshots, acting classes. We're raffling off a seat in our first Meisner training. It's a 6-week course, so that's going to be one of the prizes.
And this is Hollywood East Actors Group. Hollywood East, of course, being the fact that so many things are happening here.
And I have to say, when I started the group, when I came up with the name, I didn't realize there was a lot of negative baggage around Hollywood East because of the failed Plymouth studio project.
But we've gotten over that.
You know what? I'd like to say that we've gotten over it, and this is part of a sort of a rebirth, you know, because I think that the name, sure, we're not Hollywood. We are not Hollywood by any means, but I think that the term just, When I first came up with it, or when I wanted to use that as the group name, I was tapping into the dream of Hollywood, what it represents, you know, and so and for here in Boston, in New England, what it represents.
Well, one of the things, and we're talking about a movie studio that because of funding and lack of funding, it just didn't get built. But now we do have a studio here, but the attraction here is not necessarily interior shooting, it's exterior shots, and that's why Boston's so appealing. But the studio itself allows movies to come here, and they can do it for post-production, pre-production, and interior shots, and it actually enhances companies coming here to do films. But Massachusetts itself has been a plethora of films coming here shooting in the last couple of years, and they're very successful too. Many of which have been very successful.
You know, it's like I said. You know, I've been beating this drum for a long time that we've had more to offer. I'm originally from New York, by way of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but it just really amazed me because I've worked all over the state. When I was with the state police department, I was out in the western part and. Just the mountains and the terrain out there, the lakes, the beauty. I think we have more to offer than a lot of other places. And unfortunately, we're kind of slow in getting things going. But I think this movie industry is going to bring it to light.
Well, in Charlestown, with the studio, where your space is, that's attractive to filmmakers, as is South Boston.
You know what's one of the coolest things about my place is when I look out the window, I'm looking at old America. You know, I'm looking at the neighborhood where Paul Revere used to hang out.
Colonial buildings, brick buildings.
Paul Revere, I go drink beer for Paul Revere drank beers. I can speak sometimes.
Now, where are you performing now?
You want to talk about that? The upcoming performance. It's a dance performance, actually, together with...
You do the dancing and the singing, right?
Yeah, this one will be the dancing, more like it, but it's going to be together with a live band.
16-piece orchestra.
16-piece orchestra, actually.
Where?
November 20th.
Riles.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's by Inman Square, right?
It's
Right.
Cambridge.
So
Right next to the fire station.
November 20th, and this performance is going to be supported also by the Italian consulate. yeah, we're gonna be performing tango and also a little bit of swing. So
Something for everybody, Ted. Something for everyone.
free too.
I get my two left feet together.
Right.
Because when you talk about jazz, you don't think of Latino music necessarily. You think of the music that you
Not
perform.
at all. Hmm. Yeah, it's I love to do as much styles as I can.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
of course, jazz is a
perform.
big part of the movie industry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually how I started. Knowing the style, because I enjoy the films and film music ever, and I can always find it in music, like a big in music meaning for film. Like a big industry is for jazz. It's right there, like for every style, but mostly for jazz. It's pretty big. Yeah, people say jazz is dead. No,
No. It's various kinds of
Some
music.
people don't.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
We see this with social media as well.
Well, we use whatever is possible. We use images from photography, from videography. We use music, whatever attracts the demographic. It's a way of attracting the demographic so that people will pay attention to something that you're trying to market, you're trying to sell, whatever it is. And needless to say, holistically speaking, as you say, music soothes a savage beast, as the saying may go. And it also brings a certain amount of calmness to the individual spirit. I'm also a master hypnotist too. I bet you never knew that.
No,
Yes. Yes.
certain things are coming out that we don't really know.
It's been revealed. Yes,
See,
I'm a master
how much?
hypnotist.
How much more complete are we now that we know that? No, I wouldn't know, Ted.
Yes.
I have to. No, seriously, folks. I have to say that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I did not know.
Yes,
that you were a hypnotist.
I trained as a hypnotherapist in California under Gil Boyne, and trained as an investigative hypnotist under Marty Reiser from LAPD, and Ted Barber here in Massachusetts. So yeah.
No, I never would have
That's amazing.
guessed
Like
that.
connection is all there.
It's funny. I actually was on right before I quit my job to pursue acting, I was on a hypnotism show. I've done maybe 5 or 6 episodes now, always with an interview, but it's very, getting hypnotized, it's
Now,
very relaxing.
Because I've never been involved with anything like that. Is that something that we see more and more now?
It's been around.
Heard of it.
And as I've read different passages in the Bible, they have talked indirectly about hypnosis. It's been around. It's just been called a lot of things, unconscious learning, sleep, something. But it's been around. There's a number of books that have been written about it, and there's actually a film that Leonard Nimoy did on medical hypnosis, and where people have had surgery just with hypnosis, the usage of hypnosis. So it's there. It's just a matter of how good the person is and.
In the holistic field, there are so many ways to reach out to people's subconscious, and that's what it's about. Literally, you get different methods to reach out to things that are trying to come up, and we live it daily in a way of blockages, limitations, and some people phobia, negative beliefs and stuff. And so when somebody is just trying to remember to it in a form of dream or some kind of more sleep state, like a delta state, right?
Right, the inhibitions drop,
Yeah.
the walls fall to the side, and things, and the information comes out.
Yeah.
But it's a way of, and there's a number of studies that's written up in medical magazines, but it's still, something very slow and accepting. But when you're out in the middle of a battlefield or something like that, and there's no anesthesia, well, you're going to look for something. And if it's hypnosis, then that's what it will be. It's times like that when the information comes out. But I trained and
Ted, that's something that I
had my
did
own
not
office
know.
at one time too.
Huh?
I had my own office doing hypnotherapy.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't have thought that
Oh,
for some reason. I just wouldn't have thought that.
I love doing the energy work too. It works in the same exact way.
Yeah.
Like when you work with people, they get to reveal such a deep wisdom.
Yes.
You know, you get to connect with them in a deeper level, and they get over a lot of things
Yes.
that they can't deal with anyways. You know, they just free them.
Exam
their spirit,
phobias,
exactly,
driving
all of them.
phobias.
Not even talking about finding their life purpose.
Right.
I think, you know, in a holistic field, these are, right, the most important things when people...
Life purpose.
Exactly, like why you are here, what is the actual goal for your soul? I'm
I like
sorry,
that. What is the
I'm
goal
so,
for your
I'm
soul?
so inspired by this.
It's important to be inspired.
You were when you were involved with that, you were on a show?
Yeah, I was interviewed beforehand, and then we had a little hypnosis session. So it was funny because it sort of documented my quitting of my job and my entry into the world of acting. So we were talking about all of my fears and all the things going on. It's still on YouTube. People can still find it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's sort of interesting to look back and see what were my concerns then, and what were my fears, and what I was talking about in hypnosis. And I don't know if it was the hypnosis, but something seemed to work.
But that was a big step for you.
It was. It was a really scary step.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's a huge leap of faith.
Because it is a risk, but there's a lot to it, too.
Oh, absolutely. Quitting my job was the best decision I ever
Really?
made.
Because a lot of people have called in and said, well, you know what, that's just too much of a big step for me at this point.
Oh, it was terrifying. And it was a struggle, and it was, I mean...
But you've done a lot since you've
I have,
done it.
but it's only because I chose to have courage and step out, even though, you know, it's very dark in the darkness, and you can only see so far ahead, you know. But you know, when you carry your own candle, you can take that next step, and then that next step, and then that next step.
And you've done that as well with music.
Hope and trust. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
As artists,
every day.
we
I was
survive on
gonna
hope
say,
and trust.
right,
And there's
right.
so much in common between musicians and filmmakers, you know, that and also the interesting thing is that musicians, what happened in the music industry is now a lot of what we're seeing happen in the film industry. You know, the way that people don't want to pay for music, people don't want to pay for films, you know, so it's also coming up with new and innovative and
Right,
creative
right.
ways to just, you know, make a living, you know.
And the way we make music is also changing. You know, now we can put together a score pretty much. You know, in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You know, a couple measures. You know, of music, because you have the
technology
tools.
to do that.
Technology gives you the tools to do that. It's really possible now. Yeah, that helps out. You know, for the people not wanting to pay too much. Right now, but I think it's gonna come back also to the way it was at some point, because people normally, you know, go back to
The way
what
it was?
big before. Yeah,
Right.
They naturally go back to that, you know, and we see it all the time happening again and again. So I can say I'm peaceful about that. You know.
Are you saying that bell bottoms are going to come back?
Big bottoms.
Bell bottoms?
bottoms.
Are bell bottoms coming back?
It was a fashion style in the 70s.
I would
However,
love
but
to see that.
Next episode, we're all in bell bottoms.
well, some people do have to wear those because so many movies are coming here. They want retro styles, but but the technology's there.
Yeah.
But we also have to have the people that do it as well.
Right. Yeah. It always involves more people. Whatever we do, you know, we have to connect. It always involves people. It's for the better, helping out, you know, reaching to our goals. All good.
And to try to provide. I like when Errica said, if you want to give, you're gonna get, and it's so true.
Oh yeah.
This is
Givers gain.
Exactly. I mean, this is in the end of the day a spiritual process too. We are all spiritual beings, right? So you put out something, a present, and then you get back automatically.
Where did the hour go?
You're kidding
It's been
me.
an hour already?
You're kidding me.
It's an hour.
Damn.
It's time to go, folks, but I have to say we had a great show.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great show.
geez.
I'm glad that Jim gave us a call and Helen gave us a call and you were able to fill in as
Well,
co-host.
I'm glad that Jim gave me a chance. But I love every minute
Thank
of
you,
it.
Ted. It's always a pleasure to have you
And I
on,
can't
really.
wait to push this out. You know, check me out on Facebook and see the show again. But see something, say something, tell your friends, tell your family members.
Hector and Kathleen, just give us your website or your contact info.
So we both have our websites. You know, it would be www.hectorhuambo, my name, .com, or the same with her. You know,
Which is KATALIN Matyus.com.
And Errica Derrickson, always a pleasure to have you on.
It's always a pleasure to be here,
have
John.
you on. And if they wanted to contact you?
Again, erricadactress.com. You can send me a message through the website. You can find me on Twitter. Just send me a tweet. Or you can find me on Facebook. Send me a message on Facebook. Say hello. I always love talking to new people and meeting new people. And I always love helping people.
Errica, best of luck on
Thank you.
Hollywood East.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are
Ted?
also more than welcome to come to the
John,
party.
the important thing here is tell people where you saw it. Tell them about the John Fahey show. John's doing an incredible, great time. I mean, you've seen tonight. Tell.
And thanks to all our guests. We had a great
Yes.
show. Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much for coming and sharing that song with those songs with us.
Thank you.
All right, Ted, next month we're going to have another program, and also December, and that'll be our final show for 2013. So we have 2 more shows coming up, and both of those programs will concern the entertainment industry. So people who are watching us now, December and November, we'll have 2 additional programs talking about the movie industry here. So if you come across your state senator or your state rep, say, look, the motion picture industry is very, very important. Let's keep those tax breaks coming.
Yes.
Let's keep those tax breaks coming to the state so that we can have the movies here. We can have filming here. We can give local actors a chance to ply their craft.
So we can do what we love to do, where we want to do it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I like
Good night, folks.